In this video, I'm going to explain how to go about handling the software in the texture part 1 assignment. So in this assignment, you're tasked to find or take 3 photographs of textures and then describe them in at least 75 words. So I've gone and I've searched for 2 textures and I'm just about to pull my last one. So I want to find this stone texture. So I've searched for that in Google and I'm thinking this is kind of what I want to go with. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this image, save it to my desktop. So now that I have the 3 images ready to go, I'm going to go back to the template that I've already opened. So this is available to you in the files on the learning module. And you'll see in the template that there are 3 boxes here. And the 3 square boxes at the top are for photographs. So that's where we're going to crop these textures into the file. And then these boxes below are for implementing the text for the descriptions. The way that we will handle this assignment will also be very helpful for the graphic translation assignment when you're putting together your final file to turn in. So keep that in mind. You may come back to this video and watch it again to help you build your file for your final graphic translation. So the first step is we want to get the images into these boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and close out Google. And what's great about Indesign is we can actually drag and drop these images into those spaces. So I'm just going to take all 3. You could do them one at a time if you wanted. I'm going to go ahead and just grab all 3 and drag them over here. And you'll see that there's a red 3 or a white 3 inside of a red circle. And then there's this little icon of these 3 little pages. So it loaded up the content into this tool that will allow me to place these into these boxes. So you'll notice that when I hover over one of these boxes with the X's through them at the top, that this icon actually just slightly changes. Do you see that right there? There's now these little brackets around the icon. So as I switch back and forth, you'll kind of see it changing. But these brackets that are around the image when this icon is hovering over this box are indicating that it's going to actually place the image inside of this box. And that's really what we want. So I'll show you what would happen. If I don't put it over there, it'll actually just place the image inside of the file. But I actually really want to place it in here. So I'm going to go back and make sure that those brackets are there and place it inside of that box. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2. So one thing you'll notice right away is that these images, for the most part, are way too zoomed in. I need to somehow zoom out on these images so we can see more of the texture. The rope is really the only one that you can actually see. So InDesign works on this idea of a frame within a frame. So there is actually a box here that we place this image inside of, and that is the box that is indicating what I can see of the image. So if I go to the hollow arrow tool or the direct selection tool, and I click on it, you'll notice a hand appears. And it actually, if I zoom out, you'll see that there's actually the whole image. So I can actually shrink this down and it will change what I see and I can move this around. So that can be one useful thing. So if you're working in InDesign, this is how you would create these frames. It's right here, this rectangular frame tool. It allows you to draw these frames that allow you to place images inside of. And then again, you use the direct selection tool to change the cropping of the image, where the regular selection tool will allow you to change how it's cropped or the size of the box that it's inside of. Another trick though is you can right click. If you don't have a double button mouse, you can hold Control and click, and there are these fitting options. And some of these are really useful. Like right now, I want to zoom way out on this image, so I'm going to go ahead and go to Fit Content Proportionally. So it's going to zoom way out. You'll see it doesn't even fill the box, but I'm getting the image down more to the size that I want. And now I can use the direct selection tool, and I can make this larger. Holding Shift will ensure that it keeps it proportional. And then I can make sure that I'm cropping on the part of the image that I want to discuss in my descriptor. So I'm going to go through the same process on this one. Again, fitting, proportionate, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on this. And the rope wasn't as large, so I'm just going to go ahead and just zoom out a little bit. I don't even need to go through the steps that I was discussing earlier. So now I have the images how I want. So now I want to go ahead and place in the text. So let's start down here. There's a text box that we've already started working with, and I can click on the text tool right here. Then I can come down to this box. You'll notice that when I hover over it, it changes. I just end up getting the text cursor, and if I double click, I can highlight and start changing this information. So I'm going to go and enter my name, and I'm going to go back to the selection tool, click out of this box, and then I'm going to go back to the type tool, and I'm going to click in this box. And now this is giving me the ability to type inside of these boxes to start making my description. So I'm able to type whatever I want to say, and it will stay within this box. If I click on this one, I'm able to type in this box as well. If you wanted to change any of the type styles, I can highlight the text, come up here, and you can change the font, the size, the leading, all of those kinds of things right up in here. Again, you'll need at least 75 words, but you're welcome to set the type however you like. Another thing to consider is that if you're using the type tool, you can also drag and create a rectangular text box that then you can enter text inside of. So this is really handy if you needed to create text boxes or you're working on another assignment that is utilizing InDesign. That's the way that you would be able to actually create these boxes. We've just gone ahead and created that for you. I hope that'll help you get through this assignment, and as always, please email your instructor if you have any questions.